Hello, everybody. Welcome to Coffee and Coaching. So I'm doing this on Facebook and Instagram today. So I'm just making sure it's actually working. Oh, hello. I can see people. I'm just going to wait a few seconds to give people a chance to jump on if they want. Yes, as I said, we're going on Facebook and Instagram. Oh, Tiffany, hello. So if you see me looking from here to here, I'm trying to look at both. Tian, good morning. Hey, Tian, how are you? Yeah, hello. Okay. I think we are up and running. All right, so yeah, welcome back to Coffee and Coaching for another week. It has been amazing to see so many of you get involved in our competition the last few days. Oh my gosh, this is so hard to concentrate. Hey, Tiff. But yeah, if anyone who doesn't know, we have launched a competition that is running for the next month. It finishes on the 24th of May, and basically it is designed to help keep you guys motivated and get creative in your training over this pretty difficult period of time that we're in at the moment, to be honest. And you do go in the running to win one of 3 amazing prizes. So if you have no idea what I'm talking about, we've got all the details and all of the links to sign up and get involved included today. So on Facebook, they'll be in the comments section after this video. We've got them in the link in our bio on Instagram as well. But yeah, so today I'm going to share with you 5 common mistakes that beginner triathletes tend to make. This is for people who are just getting involved in the sport. Maybe you're thinking about getting started in the sport, or even have been involved in the sport for quite a while. Hopefully you still take a few things away. Normally we do create a blog out of each of these videos. However, we're actually not going to do that today. And the reason is because we've actually created a free online course that covers the 5 mistakes that I'm touching on today in a little bit more detail. But also some extra videos and free resources to help hopefully give you guys a few tips. I don't know if something weird's happening on Facebook. It keeps flashing. Hopefully it's working. But yeah, if you can't stick around to watch the video, or you would like to access those free resources, then we'll include the links for you on Facebook. The link is included in the caption for this video. On Instagram, it's in our bio, and if you are watching this back or listening back at a later date, then we'll have the link below. You can just head to www.TriChicks/blog/5mistakes. All right, so let's get started. We'll start off with mistake number 1, which is investing incorrectly. So often people who are starting off in the sport think that they need to, invest getting everything. Triathlon can definitely be overwhelming. You've got 3 sports all wrapped into one. So the list of equipment that you need can get very long very quickly, or the list of equipment that you think you need. You may start to notice how much stuff everyone has got. So you'll see really fancy, bright coloured bikes. You'll see all different sized wheels and shapes of wheels on those bikes. You'll see people with clip-in shoes, people running and cycling with heart monitors, or big fancy Garmin watches that play music and record all different types of data. And then you'll see all of the bright coloured and colour coordinated active wear that's out there. And it can be really easy to get overwhelmed, hey Annabelle, and think that you need all of these things just to get started, which is absolutely not the case. You don't need all the fancy stuff to begin in the sport or to improve. What's really important is having the essential equipment and just dipping your toes in. And then as you become, you progress in the sport, you know that you do want to continue with it for a longer period of time, you can then start to invest in, the nice to have things. So in our beginner triathlon course, we do try to really take the guesswork out of all of that and cover what is, the essential equipment and the must have, as opposed to the nice to have. And it is definitely important to know the difference between the two so that it's not too overwhelming when you get started. All right. Mistake number 2 is not practicing in the open water. It is definitely sad to see people who have, trained really hard for months for their event, really struggling in the swim leg of their race, or having to get help from the lifeguards or anyone else out there on the course to make their way back in. It's definitely disappointing, and the reason being is that often people will only practice swimming in the swimming pool, and they'll get to race day and that's the first time that they've actually been in the ocean or the open water. And there are some massive differences between the two. You can't touch the wall or turn around at the end in the ocean. You just have to keep swimming. You don't have a black line to follow on the sand, unfortunately. The water tastes different, and your body actually sits differently in the water, in the ocean. Let alone you're wearing a wetsuit, which if you haven't practiced in it, can feel really different. It can be quite restrictive around your neck or other parts of your body, which some people struggle with. And if you haven't practiced swimming in large groups of people, then it can be very different, suddenly having arms and legs flying everywhere, hitting your face, and yeah, it can cause people to panic a little bit in the ocean. And it's definitely disappointing to see them not enjoy that part of the triathlon when they definitely deserve to do so. So with the Melbourne squad, we try and run one weekly open water swimming session a week, pending weather. We're from Melbourne, so obviously it can depend a little bit, but that's the goal. And it just means that the girls hopefully get experience swimming in all types of conditions. So, they know what it feels like when it's choppy, when it's flat, when it's calm, when the water's murky, when they can't see anything, when they can see things, which I actually find harder. I don't like to be able to see. I don't want to know what's out there. But yeah, there's definitely, some tears and some holding hands sometimes during those sessions, but everyone's always grateful for the experience, and it just means that when you get to race day, you're not experiencing anything new for the first time. You've done it before, you've ticked that little mental box, so even if it is really choppy on race day, you've done it in training and you know how to get through it and what to expect. So that's why it is really important not to, what did you say, Liv has cried? Yes, Liv has cried. I definitely was one getting my hand held in the open water when I first started, so I completely understand what it's like to go through that, but I was definitely always grateful that I'd been through that process in training, and went through the tears and the panic and the stress when I was in a calm and controlled environment, with Amy there to help me through it, as opposed to doing it for the first time in a race, when you don't necessarily have someone to help you through it. It's just you out there. So yeah, our beginner triathlon course, we include some specific sessions that you can do in the pool as well as in the open water to improve your confidence and improve those skills as well, so that you are really equipped on race day. All right, hopefully that I've covered everything there. It's very interesting. Hey Sherry on Facebook. Oh my goodness. Okay, oops, what have I done? Clicked something. Anyway, okay. Mistake number 3 is underestimating or not practicing your nutrition. And I say this is probably a very commonly done one, even by people who have been in the sport for a long period of time. We refer to nutrition as the 4th discipline of triathlon. And if you're training hard and have big goals, it's crucial that you're fueling your body right, not only for racing, but also during training, so that you can get through the session that you're currently doing, but also be able to recover properly so that you can train again tomorrow and the next day and the next day and reduce your risk of injury. There's definitely a fine line. There is such thing as having too much nutrition on race day, and you risk having an upset stomach. You might see people running to the portaloos in transition or on the run leg, which is never fun. And then you've got the other extreme, which is not having enough nutrition. And then you'll see people getting dehydrated or bonking or hitting the wall, when you see people staggering around the race course. I have been that person, staggering around the race course and hitting the deck, and it is definitely not fun. So what's important is that you don't try your nutrition out for the first time on race day, that you practice it during your training so that you know what does and what doesn't work for you. It's definitely something that varies from person to person, depending on you as an individual, your sweat rate, all of that sort of stuff, as well as the actual type of activity you're performing, how intense it is, and how long you're exercising for. So yeah, really important to get it right and to try it before race day. In our beginner triathlon course, we do have a lesson on mastering your nutrition, and we also include some sports dietitian approved recipes so that you can practice these things in training and in racing, and hopefully get you on the right track so that your nutrition is helping you and not hindering you from achieving your goals. All right. Moving on to mistake number 4, which is not including race-specific training. If you are doing a triathlon for the first time, and I know I've definitely heard people who haven't done a triathlon before doing this, and it can be very easy to break the distance down in your head, particularly sprint. You know, you think, oh, 750 meters, you know, I can do that. 20k on the bike, that's about, you know, riding to the supermarket and back, and a 5k run, that's like, you know, running down the bike path once and back. It can seem very simple. And it can seem, yeah, I guess easy to execute, but I can promise it is a lot harder to put all of those things together on race day. When you're tired and fatigued moving from one to the other, and when you've got all different types of equipment to think about and sort out as well. And this is why you really want to include race-specific sessions in your training. And we call these sessions bricks. And you're probably thinking, what the hell is a brick and what does that have to do with triathlon, which is totally fair enough. That's what I thought at first too. But we call them bricks because your legs feel like they've got bricks in them when you're moving from the bike to the run, all right? And it's all about getting used to that sort of feeling. So a brick can refer to, you know, a swim bike session, a swim run session, a bike run session, anything that's incorporating 2 different disciplines together. And you want to do them so that you can learn not only how it feels to progress through the disciplines, but also how transition works. What do we say here? And yeah, how to get used to it. So in our beginner triathlon course, we do go through all of this stuff. We've got weekly brick sessions so that you get used to including them in your weekly training routine. And we've also got some videos on how to set up transition and also how to move from the swim to the bike and then the bike to the run, okay? All right, last but not least, mistake number 5. Hello everybody on Instagram. I can see everyone, it says wave. I don't know how to wave back. Hey. Anyway, last but not least, mistake number 5 is not following a training program. So training for a triathlon is hard, but doing a triathlon that you haven't trained for is even harder. And most people tend to not really allow enough time to train for a triathlon. It does depend on the race distance. So if you're aiming for a sprint, we generally recommend about 8 weeks of consistent training to prepare for what is normally like a 750 meter swim, a 20 kilometer bike, and a 5 kilometer run. Because not only do you have to, you know, learn a few different skills and techniques to get you through on race day, but you also want to allow your body enough time to actually like get used to the training and adapt to the training so that you can enjoy the process. And at the end of the day, that's what is important, and what, yeah, we want to achieve. No point doing it if you're not having fun. Basically, you've got 3 different sports: swim, bike, run. You need to include a rest day, and you've got 7 days a week to include all of that. It can be really overwhelming trying to cram it all in and make sure that you're doing it in a way that gradually increases your fitness and doesn't lead to injury or mean that you're doing too much too soon, which is very common. A training program, it takes the guesswork out of your training, and it means that all you have to do is focus on actually doing it, not focusing on whether you're doing it the right way or whether you've included, you know, the correct amount of sessions and so forth. And this is really why we created our beginner triathlon course. We've got a bonus 8-week training program included in it that takes you through each session step by step, as well as including instructional training videos for every session that take you through and really gradually progress your training so that you feel confident and that you enjoy the process training for your first triathlon. All right, that is our 5 mistakes done. If anyone has any questions, you can let me know. But basically, I've touched on our beginner course quite a few times today, so I wanted to give you a little bit more info on it because it's probably the thing that we get asked the most questions about here at TriChicks. And this is something that we've had over 500 women progress through the course. I myself have done it. And these are people from all backgrounds. Often people ask us, what's a beginner? Am I a beginner? I haven't done any exercise in ages. And it really is for everyone. So we've had women who have come from single discipline sport backgrounds. So maybe they've got, history as a runner or a swimmer or a cyclist only, and they're wanting to give something else a go. Often it's due to injury. So they've, maybe just been a runner and they keep repeatedly getting injured. They've then started up cycling or swimming as cross training and realised, hey, I actually really like this. Want to give this triathlon thing a go. Hey, Gina. We have women who have never done swimming, cycling, or running before. Maybe they've, done other types of sports, but they are completely new to those three disciplines. We've also had women who have not been active for years and they're really wanting to make a complete lifestyle change and, give the sport of triathlon a go. So I've seen girls and women go from couch to triathlete in 8 weeks. One of the girls who got Tiffany, the beginner course I completed with TriChicks 3 years ago. It was the best thing I've ever done. Definitely recommend. Thanks, Tiff. Tiff is a good example. So Tiff started with us and she struggled to swim. I don't know now, it was so long ago. I don't think she could swim 15, 25 meters. At the end of the course, she did the full 750 meter swim in the triathlon, and she's still in the sport now, swimming much further than that. And super proud of her. So Tiff's a great example. Nicole is another one. When she first started, I think she could run 200 meters continuously without stopping and needing, a very decent break. Tiff struggled. So I didn't know how to swim freestyle. Lol. So Tiff started from the very beginning. Nicole, 8 weeks later, she did the 5 kilometer run in her first sprint triathlon, and a year later, she completed her first half Ironman, which meant running a half marathon after a 90k bike and a swim leg as well. So pretty amazing. We've got mums in the group. So Sally is a great example. She's a mum of 2 teenagers, and a month ago I saw her swim all the way out to the pole, which is a pole about 200 meters out from the shore, by herself for the first time after trying to achieve that goal for quite a few weeks. So it's been amazing to see women from all walks of life, all ages, complete the course and really go on to continue in the sport and really enjoy it. It's definitely perfect for women who live really busy lives. I know we're all juggling lots of different things, whether it's study, family, kids, work, and you can really tailor the sessions around your schedule so that it works for you and you can continue to maintain it. As I mentioned, I did do the beginner course as well. When I started, I could swim I could make it 50 meters down the pool, but needed to stay there for like 5 minutes and have a breather at the end because I was so exhausted. And I hadn't sat on a bike in about 10 years. Obviously, I'm still here. I loved it, and I done all distances of triathlon now, sprint, Olympic, half Ironman, but it all started at the beginner course. So I loved it, and I'm sure a lot of you guys will as well. So that brings me to the end. If you would like to get started in the sport, it's a really great way to get involved, and it really guides you through the process. Not only do you get access to everything I've talked about and all the content I've touched on in this video, but you can also access an amazing community of women, as well as myself and Amy as coaches to sort of guide you through. All right. This Instagram thing is so interesting, but all of the links for the beginner course and the competition will be included on the various platforms. Also, I mentioned the 5 mistakes guide, which is if you want to access the 5 mistakes we've talked about today, as well as some extra videos and free resources, then you'll be able to find those links as well. All right. Have a great day, everyone. That's it from me. I will see you same time, same place next Wednesday at 10 a.m. on Facebook and Instagram. Adios. Have a great week. Bye. I don't know how to end this. And